Good morning, everybody. My name is Anthony Meyer with Henry Corporation. I am the Director of Design and Specifications for National Accounts. My background is in architecture, engineering, and helping larger roofing, building manufacturing corporations put together life cycle analyses, marketing, and different types of tools to give to their clients, and tying into our presentation today, solving roofing challenges, why restoration is a small alternative to re-roofing. It's going to be all around how life cycle and buildings and how the people are looking at things for asset management and how they're kind of preparing for the future for when they need to do any building replacement items. And as we kind of get into this, I'll discuss the different nuances between how roof coatings are different from like a single ply in this life cycle analyses. So we will jump in right now. I am something known as a lead AP. What a lead AP is we are a green building professional. With green building professionals, not only do we know how to design towards the environment, some of us actually study how to balance that with finances and then asset management at the same time. It's known as the triple bottom line effect. So we're looking to kind of look at the design of a building when it comes to people, the finances, as well as the environment. If you get all three of those working together very well, you're able to have better employee retention, you're better profits, and you're being able to be good for the environment all at the same time. And this is something that is possible. So our objectives today is to understand how roof restoration provides this cost-effective alternate to the normal recovering of a roof or re-roofing. And so to kind of set the stage for what that would be is that re-roofing, you have an existing roof that might be failing or might have wet patches in it, and you're going to, or the owner's going to remove everything and just take it out and take it to a landfill, whatever it might be. What we're looking to do is we're looking to encapsulate the existing roof surface and reduce costs for the same warranties as you get with a recover or a re-roof. We'll talk about that in a little bit more detail later on. We'll learn how this extends the lifespan, how it reduces maintenance costs. A lot of people forget when they're building a building that, yes, you need to maintain it when you're done. And the products I'm going to speak about today are a lot lower maintenance and a lot easier for facility managers to actually take care of themselves. They don't need a lot of special tools, et cetera, to maintain these roofs. We're going to talk about the environmental benefits of roof restoration in comparison to a standard recover and a re-roof. And then we're going to explore, how we partner with experts, past clients of mine, our current clients, Con Edison, Georgian Water Board, New Orleans, San Francisco, Milwaukee, St. Louis. We work with these people, amongst many, many others, on kind of looking at the roof asset management and how they can plan accordingly. So they're not just like, oh my goodness, I have to replace my roof. They can plan for it and normally save a considerable amount of money by just planning and choosing the right product. So roof insights are critical to health facility management. So doing this correctly is going to help maintain your property value, not have any damage. It's going to help you optimize the efficiency of your operations, and it's going to maximize the longevity of these said assets. Which we're going to explore today how this all ties in with roof restoration. Products like silicone, acrylics, emulsions, urethanes, spray foam, etc. They're not as disruptive as doing a single ply restoration. You can just kind of keep doing your business and have a waterproof building. So managing a portfolio of roofs across various buildings, you have to balance that. It's a juggling act. So we're thinking about budget management and ownership. Like, what is your budget? How do you stay within those limits to ensure that you get the right maintenance on all your roofs? And then you tie that all into your plans for ownership. Like, how long is your owner going to own the building for? What are the different things that they need to do to repair up beyond even beyond the roof. And then we're going to match that budget with the ownership type. Asset management. I mean, this is fairly simple. Maintenance, operation, you're managing the entire building envelope, all the mechanical components. You want to ensure you have the maximum lifespan of every single asset you have in the building. That's lower cost, lower operations, lower time, because you're not even being bothered with it as much. You're planning accordingly. And that ties into risk minimization. From a roofing standpoint, you want to prevent leaks. Leaks are bad. It's pretty much universally accepted because they can cause downtime. And then you get these emergency repairs. And you're taken away from your desk from doing your work. It helps smooth the operations of your building when you're planning for it accordingly. And then codes and compliance. In my world, in the environmental side, codes have changed quite a bit over the past 10 years. Higher R value requirements, the stormwater management you have to look at. It's just a changing arena. And so we tie that in when we're discussing with our clients the best tools moving forward. So understanding restoration of roofing options. So replacement, fairly simple. You have an existing roof. You have to replace it. That means you're going to take the entire thing out, throw it in big dumpsters, throw it in the landfill. There's cost to all that. Recover, reskin. You have an existing membrane, and then you're going to take a single ply membrane, a sheet good, and then go over the top of that membrane. And then restoration is the process where you repair the existing roof. You already have a foundation. You already have a roof, right? But they're going to repair it, any problems, because normally, well, I wouldn't say normally, always, a roof just doesn't disintegrate all over. There's different parts that start to fall apart, your penetrations, your drains, et cetera. So we're going to repair just those areas. It might be 5, 10, 15% of the roof we're going to repair. Then we're going to reseal it, and then we're going to basically replace all the defective components. Everything's going to be watertight when it's done, but because you had that foundation, there's cost savings because you're using what you already have, and you're extending the life of that. And when you're thinking about pricing, the replacement's the most expensive, then the recover refit is the second most expensive. The restoration is generally the most value-added proposition. So how do we do that? So we're going to evaluate and inspect each roof. So we have a team of technical experts that go out there. And we normally start with something known as an infrared scan. It's not good to have water underneath your membrane. So we want to see where the water is underneath that membrane. And so kind of like a dentist, what we're going to do is we're going to analyze the entire roof, look for where the cavities are or where water is in the case of the roof. And if there are those places, that's where we're going to kind of fix it up. But before we do that, we're going to clean everything up, make it really nice. Then we actually fix and repair the damages, the cavities in the roof, and all the flashes of details. This is a common design element when it comes to restoration, is that we're going to, all the spots that might have an issue in the future, we're going to fix those up really nice at that point in time before we kind of move forward. Then we're going to evaluate everything and see how it all looks, make sure it's clean, dry, do a pull test to make sure all the materials tied to it, and then we're going to restore the entire roof with a liquid membrane of one type, shape, or form. So things that we address, like ponding water, is generally not a good thing unless you're actually designing towards that. You're looking at like thinning and blistering, so membranes over time because of UV degradation. That's the sun just beating down on top of the roof and just essentially destroying it. It starts to thin and blister and kind of fall apart. And so we're going to look for those different areas. Sometimes you have a maintenance person that's on a rooftop, or there's a lot of traffic, and just inadvertently there could be a sliced membrane. So we're going to look for those too. Cracks. Over time, for the same type of reasons, the UV freeze thaw, especially in the northern climate, Certain membrane systems, specifically like your TPOs that are out there, they get brittle and hard, and they start to crack. So we look for those areas. Deficiencies in details. This is depending on who did your roof the very first time. If you're using a contractor that's kind of like the top tier, or a B contractor, they're pretty good too. You get good detailing. But if you were cheap to begin with and you've got a C contractor or a D contractor, that's generally where they fail. If they don't have the same technical knowledge as the A and B contractors, so these details are not always done very well. And so we really put a lot of emphasis when we're walking the roofs ahead of time before we actually do the full restoration to make sure that all those details are done well. With the Henry team, they are by far one of the best I've seen in the industry when it comes to addressing that and making sure that's good, because then they put that warranty on afterwards, and that can be up to 25 years. Then there's something known as a pull test. And what a pull test is depending on what your substrate is, your membrane type, your adhesion with the liquid could be different. And just to make sure that adhesion works well, we wind up like testing the roof for that spot. You can have roofs that flake, especially your built-up asphalted-based roofs. And then like grease buildup. If you have any food processing plants, some medical, et cetera, you get grease buildup on the rooftop, and that can degrade the roof as well. So part of the restoration, when we see these signs of damage, we're going to do repairs on them. And there's multiple different repair options. The easy one that's really great for facility managers is butter grade roof mastic. You paint it on. So on the bottom right-hand picture, you'll see there, and actually the upper right one, you can see they're doing some detailing. It'd probably be a little bit harder to see, is they seal all those areas. I've used this stuff personally myself on some R&D. It does not come off. It lasts forever. It was like a liquid seal that goes around it, and it's flexible. When you're doing built-up roofing, you do something known as like three-coursing your asphalted base with a reinforcement fabric. The butter grade has reinforcement built into it, but when it ties into like a asphalted-based roof, it's not get to the right product. So three-coursing is where you use a layer of asphalted base, like a gel pretty much, and then you do polyester fabric, another layer of the gel fabric, and that is good for like seams and around the penetrations. You do repair with materials that are always compatible with existing substrates. So like I talked above, the butter grade is for like one type of roof membrane system, three-coursing for asphaltic. And then you do the removal and replacement of any damaged or worn roofing components. That could be wet insulation, membrane, et cetera. You're going to cut that all out, like I gave the idea, like a dentist with the cavity, get it out, make it good. So these are the different types of systems and substrates that get restored. Single-ply EPDM, TPO, and PVC, as an example with the past slide, when you're doing your detailing, you're using the butter grade. You have structural concrete. The structural concrete deck, that just gets the coating right over the top. You have previously coated systems, substrates with existing coatings. So spray polyurethane foam is an example of that. Existing acrylic coating is an example of that. Urethane coating is an example of that. Those can be recoated and restored as well. Built-up roofing. They're smooth and granulated modified bitumen roofs. Those have cap sheets with an asphalted base. That's where you would do a three-course when you're doing your detailing. And then metal roofs. You have existing metal roofs, standing seam, corrugated. Joints are coming apart. You're starting to get leaks. You can restore those at the same time. So when you're looking at the case of roof restoration, there's many different factors that kind of make it a product that you probably would want to look more at. And so when you're thinking about that, it's not just about the analysis of the cost savings. There's also the part of the other ancillary savings that come with that. So when you go from a dark roof to a light roof or a white roof, you're going to have the reduction of urban heat island effect. That's when in a city or a big grouping of buildings, the sun comes down, hits that black roof, starts to take on temperature, gets somewhere between 160 to 180 degrees a day during the summertime. When you go to a white roof, you're going to cap that between 90 and 120. That is energy savings for you. There's a significant savings over recover, re-roof, in pricing, which we'll show in a couple slides going down. It's environmentally friendly, low VOC. It's sustainable. You're not taking products of the existing building when you are taking it off or removing a roof and taking it to a landfill. You're not just saving from all the work to remove it from the building. You're saving on the landfill cost, and you're saving on putting that into the landfill from an environmental standpoint. And then minimal disruption. You hear me talk about the removal of an existing roof. That is a lot of work. It is dusty. It is dirty. It causes a lot of noise. When you're doing a restoration, you don't have all that. You can continue the operations of your building and keep doing your business that you're doing inside the building as this process is moving forward. Greenhouse gas emissions. This is just an example. So from an environmental standpoint. So you got a 225 square foot restoration versus an 80 mil TPO roof replacement, both 225 square feet. What you're going to actually divert or prevent from happening is you're going to reduce 90,000 pounds, 45 tons from going to a landfill. That's significant. That in itself, if you think about like how many trucks that went for that, that's going to be 3 to 5 different trucks leaving that site, paying the gas, going to the landfill, and then your dump fees. You prevent a ton of CO2 from going into the atmosphere when you're doing this as well. The products in the coatings industry, when they're manufactured, they're a lot more energy. They use a lot less energy when they're being manufactured compared to that TPO. You wind up saving a lot of carbon with this. You're going to capture 12 acres of carbon per year with these designs by the way these systems are placed together. And so with an equivalent, this is going to be kind of a comparison to like vehicles, driving, et cetera. This one design is going to divert 11,000 plus pounds of what it would be for coal burning. So like this equivalent of like burning the coal, 11,000 pounds of that is what would happen if you put the TPO membrane on the rooftop. And then for what's a little bit more home to most of us is that it's the value of just a little bit over 1,100 gallons of gasoline or fuel is the cost of it as well. So managing your portfolio. Now we're going to get to the brass tacks and get to the numbers. So manufacturer partnerships bring proactive versus reactive management. So we're looking at being proactive rather than waiting to see the leak. That saves money. We can do this consistently across all locations across the United States with Henry because we have people all across the states. We have technical guys in every state, technical sales people in all states, customer service, et cetera. There's an authorized installer network. So we have vetted contractors known as Gold Seal contractors. They wind up warrantying any project we have for the very first years, and then our warranty kicks in. They've been doing business with us for 10, 15, 20 years, even longer in certain cases. Henry is a 108-year-old company. We have warranty systems. It says 20 years, but we do actually have a 25 too, and we have renewable options. So you could have a 20-year warranty, but then have a plan for us to recover that 20-year restoration with another 20-year restoration and kind of keep that going down the line. And then there's savings that can be reallocated to other expenditures. So by working with us, most of the time they can take dollars that were originally like earmarked for a re-roof, put it into new flooring in their building, new carpet, new windows, whatever it might be. And below are some examples that's from across the country, fairly consistent, what a silicone restoration is compared to a fleece spec recover or a full tear-off, and the numbers are fairly stark. Between the recover, it's generally somewhere between like 20 and 30% of savings, but compared to the tear-off, I mean, it's massive. I mean, you're saving 50, 75% when you're doing the restoration in comparison to actually doing a fully new roof on a building. And then there's all the environmental parts as well, like the landfill again. You're not taking that to landfill. You're not causing all the carbon emissions. It's something that if you're really interested in asset management over the extent of your building's lifespan, that you should at least explore. So look at this together. Prolonged lifespan, we're going to extend the roof's life, reducing roof replacement needs. It's very scalable. Once you do this, it is very simple to repeat. If it's using 10 buildings or 100 buildings, it's always the same. It's a universal application. So you're doing it the same way on your rubber roofs and your TPO roofs, your metal roofs, your concrete roofs. It's the same application. And it's very data-driven. So we keep doing ongoing inspections. When a project gets completed, our technical team will inspect your project in year 2, in year 4, in year 9, in year 14, in year 19, in year 24, basically every 5 years, just to see how it's going and let you know how you're dealing with remainder. So we start this with roof evaluations. We do budget planning. We have the contractor network. We got warranty coverage, as I spoke about before. So as you're looking at your portfolio value and its ESG impact, roof restorations protect investments. You'll be looking at maximizing your ROI by extending this roof's lifespan. You're going to help prevent failures, leaks, etc., costly repairs. You're going to optimize maintenance. This is something, as I mentioned earlier, that your facility managers can do themselves. You create a proactive schedule. You stick to that schedule, and you're going to know exactly what you're going to be doing in the future. You're not going to be surprised anymore. We mentioned it does improve sustainability, reduce that waste, it conserves materials, improves energy efficiency across all properties. So you're going to save on your electric and natural gas bills all at the same time. And then you're thinking long-term management. You're making informed, cost-effective decisions that are protecting the assets that you have that help with ROI, and then also, asset appreciation. If you have a bad asset and it's leaking and you're trying to sell it, its value is not going to be as good as an asset that's well taken care of. So a partnership with Henry, will save you time and money. So let us solve the roofing needs. Reach out to us. Our strategic national accounts team. You're going to have Bill Love's email. You can reach out to him, and then we'll come back to the QR code. Shannon will talk about it in just a moment. But before we hit that up, a little thing about the company. Henry is a Carlisle company. Carlisle is one of the biggest building products company in the United States, North America. I believe it's $3.8 billion a year in products that go through the company. 3.3, sorry, excuse myself. So Carlisle is 3.3 in revenue. This is our single-ply roofing, polyiso and installation, metal roofing. And then you have Carlisle waterproofing technology. That's like your hot rubberized asphalt, vapor barriers, polyurethane, EPS insulation, roof coatings, waterproofing systems, HVAC duct sealing. In combination, I did underscore us, $4.6 billion in revenue. That was 2023. And so we're a leader in building envelope systems. Not only can we help you extend the lifespan of your roofing with the restoration systems as we spoke about today, but we can assist with foundation waterproofing, insulation, air vapor barriers, plaza decks, green roofing, traffic coatings, roof underlayments, SBS road goods. And then on the residential side, if that's something that you're interested in, spray foam, duct sealants, other waterproofing systems, roof underlayments, weather, like permissive barrier systems, and then rigid insulation. Shannon, would you like to talk about the QR code?
Yeah, thanks, Anthony. I'm Shannon Pulse. I'm the Strategic Marketing Leader for Henry's Roof Restoration Systems. And I just wanted to talk to you for a brief moment about, why and how you can partner with Henry to solve your roofing needs. As you can see, we're the trusted roof restoration systems by the New Orleans Convention Center. And we're trusted to protect over a 41-acre roof that was installed onto that convention center. And you can find more information certainly by utilizing our QR code here, which will enable you to start the process with us. And what that process actually looks like is the first step in all of this is understanding what is the current condition of the roofs on each of your buildings within your facilities portfolio. So by scanning the QR code, you can start that process. We will start with that roof evaluation and roof walk. So we come alongside you to basically provide a roof report for each one of your facilities. That is inclusive of roof grading, photos. We will identify any deficiencies in your roofing portfolio and help you to understand whether restoration is a viable option for each of the independent roofs within your portfolio and all of your asset management. From there, we can actually help you to take a look at the entire roofing portfolio. We will help you to basically understand what you might need from a budgeting and CapEx perspective in order to kind of prioritize all of your roofing needs across the entire, all of your assets that you will be responsible for from a facilities perspective. That map that you were shown by Anthony is kind of considered our roof analytics report. What it enables us to do is, let's say you have, you may have 200 roofs if you're Texas A&M, right? Within their university, there locally, you might have 200 buildings just there within one geographic location. You may have multiple roofs across the entire United States and what have you. We can take a look at each of those roofs for you, perform those evaluations, and actually give you the grading and information in order to be able to make the best decisions possible, help you to prioritize your roofing portfolio, and then be able to help you with the budgeting and expenditure that you might need to plan for. And then lastly, we can help you understand what the ESG initiatives, within your organization, what the impact is from performing a roof restoration in comparison to a reskin or recover, as well as an entire, roof replacement. So if you'd like more information from us, the first step would be to start with the QR code or the link that's provided and giving us some information in order to be able to get in touch with you. And then we will start the process with each of you. And just so you understand, none of it, there's no cost and no obligation. And we're just here to come alongside and partner with you. And if roof restoration is not an option, we are part of Carlisle and certainly help to connect you with the other parts of our businesses as well. So we greatly thank you for your time today, and I'll pass it back to Anthony in order to answer any questions you may have. So please take advantage of the ability to ask questions, and we'll walk through each of those. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Yes, if you have any questions, please use the chat function in our Q&A, and I'd be happy to answer any of your questions.
Okay. Is there a rule of thumb, price per square foot for each type of roof solution? That is one of our questions. And I think if we go back to the slide which shows some of the roof analytics, Anthony, if you wanted to speak to that, certainly we can provide those details as well.
It's gonna depend on the systems that would be being installed. The silicone-based systems, you're probably looking at like $5 to $7 a square foot. But there's there's going to be the larger the project, the better the price. The smaller the project, it's going to be a little bit more expensive. It's about your mobilization. Acrylic systems are going to be a little bit less. You're going to be maybe $2, $3, $4 a square foot. And then aluminum coatings are even going to be slightly less than that when it comes to those restorations. It's kind of, what do you want your building to last for? Do you want a 10-year warranty? Do you want a 12-year warranty, a 15-year warranty, a 20-year warranty? And then what kind of building do you have at the same time? And then where are you in the country? Because depending where you are in the country, you might have a certain coating that might be better for you at the same time.
We have how long does a recoat last on a TPO roof?
I said up to 25, depending on what they're doing, what type of system. So I got a question right now. What is the approximate cost per square foot to coat an existing TPO roof? And my response will be, depending on the coating response, you're going to start probably in the $2 to $3 range and up to like $5 to $7 a square foot.
And certainly we can help you with the exact financials that would involve your current roof conditions and providing you that roof walk-in evaluation for the roofs involved in your roofing portfolio. So if you'd wish to start that process, we encourage you to get in touch with Bill Love or utilize the QR code or link provided in order to start the process and discussions about how we can help you to maintain your roofing portfolio.
The response on the cost analysis rule of thumb is your lowest is like $2 to $3 a square foot. That's going to be more your acrylic systems. Probably not as good for high humidity areas. Well, you can do them, but it kind of depends on the time of year. You can't have ponding water with that. To make more silicone systems that are ponding water resistant, and that's $5 to $7. And then a new TPO roof would cost. I was just with the contractor yesterday. If you're going to do a reskin on it, you're probably 9, 10, 11 a square foot. If you're going to completely do a full removal and replacement, you're probably in the range minimum 12 to 14 to up to $18 a square foot. I have a question here from a maintenance director at a condo association. I think in NEPA, Napa, EPDM roof. The EPDM roof we can assist with because it is a single-ply roof. Shingle roofs, those generally you need to have those replaced. It's not intended for shingle systems. It's for flat roofing or low slope. So if that is the case, I guess we'll wrap things up. Shannon, Paul, do you have anything you'd like to add before we finish today?
Well, I think one of the important things is we have an authorized contractor network. So whether you have a mix of different types of roofing within your portfolio, we can provide details on the full restoration system, as well as our authorized contractors can help solve for the different roofing types, like that example that Greg had mentioned, where a shingle roof and an EPDM roof are present within the same building. We can help you solve for that within our authorized contractor network. That's all I had to add.
Well, thank you, everybody, again for joining us today. If you have any questions, please do reach out. Use the QR code, as Shannon said. Reach out to Bill Love. He can get you in contact with your right person in the right region around the country. And enjoy the rest of your day.